There's many layers to this because, like Lady Gaga told her fans, they suffer for their love of the music, and the culture has changed the energy of our environment. But I want to start with one layer of the reason why a lot of black women seem to be bitchy or have an attitude. First, let me say, there's a misconception that a lot of men have, and I just want to clarify it. And I'm not doing it with any malice or trying to be mean. It's just something that hasn't been corrected when it comes to men. Because men are taught that it's okay to do this, but as they're seeing, it's not really. You know, women have gotten tired of it over the years. And that is, you really don't have the right to say hi to a woman in the street and expect her to say hi back. Now, doesn't that seem weird? That seems so peculiar to say that. But guess why I'm saying that? Guess why I'm saying that? This is not the 1900s, the 1910, the 20s and 30s, where the population is not as dense as it is now. Most men do not go around saying hi to every woman they come across. Most men, I would say 95, even up to maybe 97 or 99% of men will say hi to a woman hoping that it leads to something more. And I can't think of a more annoying thing ever. When I lived in New York, it's just beyond annoying because it's a high population area where many men will do that. When a woman's walking down the block or going someplace in particular, and she's constantly solicited by men who say hi, and once she says hi, he tries to proceed with a conversation. You don't have the right to do that. That invades people's privacy and their space, and it's very annoying. And this is why even someone like me, I've ignored men, so I would have been considered a bitch in doing so, but I can't. You just can't say hi to guys because they're not doing it for genuine, just being nice reasons. Usually when you say hi to them, then they want to proceed with a conversation, and it's like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I'm being forced into this situation, and this person's trying to force themselves into my space. So a lot of women will just ignore men, and it's something that men have to understand. And a lot of times it's not personal. There have been times I've ignored guys who said hi without looking them over and saying, ew, I'm not going to say hi to them, or what the case may be. So you just have to develop a thick skin. I tell men, you should really meet someone in a situation where you can strike up a conversation with them, or at an event or someplace appropriate. But a woman who's on her way to a destination or out and about, sometimes she will be open to conversation. That's why I'm like in between. It's up to men to just develop a thick skin. You wouldn't turn around and say black women are bitches and have attitudes, because we live in a really hypersexual culture where you have to realize a lot of black women, when they're navigating the streets, come across a lot of men who, I just explained to you, they don't just say hi to say hi. I used to dread saying hi to a lot of men when I lived in New York City. And sometimes, like I said, I would ignore them, because as soon as you say hi, they say, can I talk to you for a second? And can I have a minute of your time? No! That is just so annoying, because it does force you into the position of possibly having to be a bitch. And you're making me have to do that. And then I was listening to a show. This is what made me want to do this video. where a couple of guys were speaking about it, and they had a female host on the show. Now she was going in a direction that a lot of women have an attitude, because sometimes they'll talk to the guy and then it doesn't work out and this and that. That can happen even if you meet a guy in at an event or at a party or something like that. It's more of a sense of being annoyed, and I don't think a lot of women are honest about that, because again, it's sort of like evading someone's privacy. But these particular men said that they're married and they get so upset that when they go out, they say hi to women and the women ignore them. Now, I don't know what to say, because like I said, I see through people. So you have two men who, though they're married, they still want validation that they're attractive, that they would be able to pull these women if they weren't married. I don't really know their mind state, because it could go in that direction if the woman was open to it. Who knows? I don't want to slander these men. But yes, a lot of married men will go around saying hi, not to every woman. They will say hi to specific women. So particularly men in urbanized areas, you can't listen to them when they say that I'm just trying to be nice and say hi to a sister and she has an attitude. You don't walk down the street and say hi to everybody, every woman that you come towards. You say hi to particular women because you either hope that it results in a conversation, or that you could feel validated because the woman paid attention to you. We have to remember that at the end of the day, we are telepathic beings. It's just that that ability is not on the surface. And that's why even when someone doesn't say something verbally, we can feel it. So we can feel the intentions and thoughts of people a lot of times. Now, some men will say that women like that too. They like to be complimented, or, as they're out and about. And there's some truth to that, but that can be annoying too. I like to be complimented by men who I want to be complimented by. I don't need to be complimented by every man I come across. And that's another annoying thing when you live in these dense population areas like New York City. It's like every freaking block someone wants to bother you. Do you know there's some men that stand on the corner and that's how they meet women? So that's basically why I wanted to do this podcast. That's just something that men became accustomed to doing. And from my observation, without having spoken to white women, that is like standard with black men. They will try to talk to you in the street. It's beyond annoying. You really have to meet people in certain situations where you can strike up a conversation with them. If someone's out and about and trying to get to a destination, you don't have the right to really disrupt that. So I wish a lot of men didn't feel bad about that. You have to realize that there's other men in the world, and 99% of men, when they say hi to women, they're not just saying hi to say hi. There's a reason behind it, and it becomes annoying. I heard a funny story. It was just so funny. And I feel sorry for this guy, but I love when men convey the story and they try to make it so innocent. So this guy went to the gas station and he observed this really attractive woman. I forget if he said she was black, but I think he did. But anyway, she had a nice car and she had a banging body and she was so attractive. And she came into the gas station, into the convenience store area, and she discovered she left her money at home. So this man on the line, he was like, I'll pay. And he paid for her gas, and guess what she did? She just left. This man went after her and was like, you could at least say thank you, which, of course, I agree. She should have said thank you. But I want you to feel the energy of the story. I said that she was really attractive. She had a nice body, which still is an excuse. She should have said thank you. But he was hoping that that would lead to more. Do you know? I don't know what to say to men. Women can sense that. She turned to this man and said, stop being so desperate, and got in the car and left. And I bet you he felt like a dumbass because he thought he would pay for her gas and she'd be like, oh, thank you so much. It's so wonderful. And he'd be like, well, you know what I'm saying? Can I get your number? And she would give him her number. It didn't work out that way because she deals with that all the time. So you have to think about these things. And I think it's a good thing that occurs because it forces men to be more serious about the woman they approach. If you just approach women and say hi to any woman, I feel that more than half of them should ignore you. It should be that way. Because you're not, it's supposed to be genuine when you approach someone. You're not supposed to just be saying hi to people just to see who you can attract and who might be attracted to you, how many numbers you can get, things like that. I actually don't like a man who seems like he says hi to anybody, or every woman that he sees he cases over, and I don't like that. I like men who are particular. And again, like I said, we're telepathic beings. So women can really detect men who seem a little bit more particular, where a woman would feel special when it comes to a man like that, opposed to a man who says hi and hopes that he can talk to any attractive woman he comes across. It just becomes annoying. So I just wanted to add a little insight to that. It's just something to think about. Grow a thick skin. Realize a lot of times it is not personal. It's just annoying. So you have to pretty much think of it as a numbers game. Because in this day and age, with this culture, and the fact that the average woman has to deal with this, not every woman's going to say hi to you. So you shouldn't really turn that into black women being a bitch and having an attitude. Some will, I guess, display that. Well, that goes with women of any race. I do not want to fall into that trap. But some women will really, really display that if you proceed in trying to evade their personal space. You should say hi to a woman. If she doesn't say hi, don't take it personal. Just move along because you don't know exactly why she's not saying hi. Usually she just doesn't want to be bothered. Maybe she's met her limit for the day and she's just tired. So don't misconstrue that as women being bitches, because you really put a lot of women in a position of having to be like that. Call a woman a bitch and say a woman has an attitude when, without provocation, she acts in that way. But anyway, signing out.